wept and cried in unbearable agony for hours. Was Astrid still awake? Was she lying there in the dark, same as him, thinking the same thoughts? No. She was thinking he was a jerk for authorizing Albert to bribe Orc with beer, thinking he had no morals, thinking he was losing it. And maybe she was right. Not helpful. Not helpful when what you needed was to sleep. Not helpful to go over the list of things you needed to do and the list of things you couldn't do. How crazy was it that he was reduced to fantasizing about a can of chili, the last slightly tasty thing he'd eaten? How long ago? A week? Fantasizing about canned chili, hamburgers, ice cream, pizza, and Astrid in her own bed. He wondered what it would be like to be drunk. Did it make you forget all that? There was still plenty of alcohol in the phase, even though some kids had started drinking it. Could he stop them? Should he bother? If they were going to starve to death, why not let them drink? Little kids drinking rum, he'd seen it. Drinking vodka. They'd make faces at the horrible taste and the burn of it, and then they'd take another sip. Food poisoning last week. 2 kids sharing something they dug out of the garbage. They'd staggered into Dara's so-called hospital with fevers. 104 degrees, vomiting the water and the Tylenol she'd tried to get down them. Thank God for Lana, she'd saved them, but it was a close call. Lana's power worked better on wounds, things that were broken. There would be more electrocutions, more fires, more poisonings, more accidents, like the boy who'd fallen off the roof. He'd fallen 2 stories and no one'd seen him fall. His sister had found the body. He was buried in the town square now, next to the victims of the battle. Kane was still out there. Drake, pack leader, all of them still out there somewhere. He'd fooled himself into believing he was done with them until Drake and his crew hit the Ralphs. In the old days, if you had just a little money, you could make a phone call and 30 minutes later there'd be Papa John's bringing you a giant pizza. Melty, bubbly, brown cheese, greasy pepperoni, just like that. Just like it was no big deal. He would sell his soul for a pizza. Astrid was religious, so probably no. Probably she was not lying in her bed thinking of him. Almost certainly not. Although when they'd kissed, she didn't seem like she was pulling away. She loved him, he knew that for sure, and he loved her with all his heart. But there were other feelings in addition to love. Kind of attached to the love feeling, but different too. And Chinese. Oh man, the little white cardboard boxes full of sweet and sour chicken and lemon chicken and Szechuan prawns. He never cared much for Chinese food, but it'd be cans of butter beans and half-cooked pinto beans and what passed for tortillas made out of flour and oil and water and burned on a stove. Someone would probably come and wake him up soon, only he wasn't asleep. They came almost every night. Sam, something's burning. Sam, someone's hurt. Sam, a kid crashed a car. Sam, we caught Orc all drunk and breaking windows for no reason. It wouldn't be, Sam, the pizza's here. It wouldn't be Astrid saying, Sam, I'm here. He drifted off to sleep. Astrid came in. She stood in the doorway, beautiful in her gauzy nightgown, and said, Sam, it's okay. Easy's alive. Even asleep, Sam knew that was a dream. An hour later, Taylor simply appeared, teleported into his room. She called it bouncing, and said, Sam, wake up. No dream this time. It was often Taylor who brought the bad news, her or Brianna, if either was available. They were the fastest means of communication. What is it, Taylor? You know Tom Odell? Sam didn't think he did. His brain was not focusing. He couldn't quite seem to wake up. Anyway, there was a fight between Tom and the girls who lived next door, Sandy, and I forget the other girl. Tom got hurt pretty bad from Sandy hitting him with a bowling ball. Sam swung his legs over the side of the bed, but could not keep his eyes open. What? Why did she hit him with a bowling ball? She says Tom killed her cat, Taylor said, and then he was cooking it on the barbecue in his backyard. That at last penetrated Sam's bleary brain. Okay. He stood up, fumbled around for his jeans. He'd gotten over the embarrassment of being seen in his underwear. Taylor handed him his pants. Here. Okay, bounce back. Tell him I'm coming. Taylor disappeared, and for a moment Sam tried to tell himself this was just another dream. There was nothing, after all, that he could do about a dead cat. But it was his duty to show up. If he started blowing off his duties, it would look bad. Set a good example, he muttered under his breath as he crept silently past Astrid's door. And that's the end of that chapter, whichever chapter that is, somewhere in the middle of the book. But I didn't want to give away the first chapter to you. Besides, as I said, I think you can find it online. That's it for me. Once again, if you're bored, you could check out thephase.com, or certainly harperteen.com. And there's even a blog that I write with Meg Cabot and some other various and sundry children's book authors and young adult authors and people in the business. And also some kids write for us who do reviews and stuff of YA Lit. And it's called stupidblogname.com. That's stupidblogname.com. So that's a whole bunch of links for you to follow. harperteen.com, thephase.com, and stupidblogname.com. And that's about it for me today. Thanks for listening. Read Hunger. You'll like it.
Thanks for tuning into this episode of the Harper Teen Podcast. We hope you'll join us again for another great encounter with one of your favorite authors. And don't forget to visit us at harperteen.com.